Like we hire people into our organization all the time who, don't maybe have like the skills and experience, but know that if we hire them into the junior position, that that's not where they want to be long term. And then if we don't have like a proper path on how they can get there and what a realistic time frame looks like, then we're creating like a I guess a disconnect between both sides. And if you're like, this is a role I want to be in, I see that these types of positions are feeder roles and ones that are capable within your business. Like, what is a realistic time frame for somebody to go through that? And if they're like, yeah, it's anywhere from a year to 2 years.
Mhm.
Well, when you're at the 6 month mark and you're like, well, what's happened? Like, why aren't I there? It's like, well, because we talked about this. It's a year to 2 years. A year is like really early. 2 years is like if you're not there by the end of 2 years, maybe it's delayed. But you're 6 months in. Like,
Mhm.
don't be pushing or fighting this battle because that could create like a kind of like disconnect internally. But again, if it was never discussed or described and there is that disconnect, then that's what kind of creates that turnover. And I think it's good to have that desire, but also really important, as you said, to be aware and to be open and say, this is something I want, but I also understand that you need people to learn and develop and apply themselves and
Mhm.
potentially be in a role for a certain set of time. Like we work with a number of clients that'll hire for more junior, what we call entry point positions. And they have an expectation that not only do you like take 6 months to a year to learn, but that once you've learned over that 6 months to a year, that you apply that learning for an additional year to really like, you know, I guess inherently apply the return to the business, but also experience other things as a more experienced person in that role to then show that you're willing to put the time, effort, and energy in versus someone who wants the results now, which is like the demographic that you're from, right? Like the age of technology and information available at our fingertips, and Google answering every question for us and being able to order an Uber and food and everything. It's all like immediate gratification. And so I think, like you said, kind of realizing that you may need to take a step back and you may need to delay that, and may need to kind of like, understand what that path and time frame looks like so that there's a fair expectation on both sides
Yeah.
is probably something that's really good again for you to be self-aware of for sure.